77 grain open tip match is a type of 5.56 ammunition preferred for its superior ballistic efficiency and terminal effectiveness. Although it's more expensive, heavy hollow point 5.56 exhibits significantly improved performance over standard 55 grain full metal jacket loads. 77 grain OTM has become a key component of my 5.56 rifle systems. Let's explore what makes it so valuable. Even though a lighter bullet will have more velocity at the muzzle and have less bullet drop, a heavier bullet is often preferred for long-range shooting applications. This is because of a critical parameter called the Ballistic Coefficient, or BC. BC tells you how effective a bullet is at flying straight for a long time and retaining its velocity across long distances. A heavier bullet will generally have a higher BC because it maintains its momentum better than a lighter bullet. My friends and I conducted a practical accuracy test to demonstrate the effectiveness of a high BC bullet, like the powerful Sierra Match King, versus a more standard full metal jacket bullet. Alright, it's a beautiful day on the range. I have two 5.56 loads with me here today. We have IMI 55 grain M193, pretty standard load. And we have IMI 77 grain OTM, hollow point boat tail match. We're gonna group both of them, chrono both of them, and then shoot a string of fire at a target about 600 yards up the hill and see what kind of practical accuracy differences we have between these two types of ammunition. If you're familiar with ARs, you might know that 55 grain is a standard bullet weight for 5.56 ammunition, and 77 grain would be considered rather heavy for caliber. The Wiser SPR launches M193 at about 3,200 feet per second, while the 77 grain OTM reaches around 2,750. I didn't shoot amazing groups today. My best group with the 77 grain OTM was about 1.1 MOA, and the M193's best performance was about 1.7 MOA. Let's see how they perform on our practical accuracy test. Okay, the full mag of the 55 grain. So you guys feel free to chat as much as you want to me about impacts and corrections. Okay. I'm 12.5 MOA here for the 55 grain. All right, and I'm going for the standing silhouette target. Okay. Okay, you guys ready? Yep. All right, I'm gonna hold center.
Just off the right, about half target.
Copy.
Impact, dead center. Impact. 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 That was, yeah, impact. Yeah. Impact. Impact. Off the right, about just off the edge. Impact. I think it was impact. You hear it?
No, I don't think so.
It's off the right then.
Okay.
Impact. Off the right, a little low. Lower half. Yeah, that was top right shoulder. Right off the edge. Impact.
Was it?
No? Right off the right. Impact. It's off the right.
Still 20.
Okay.
A lot better than I was expecting. IMI gives the ballistic coefficient of M193 as 0.243. By the time the bullet reaches the target, it has lost over half of its initial velocity. The energy it delivers to the target at this distance is only about a quarter of what it was at the muzzle. If you couldn't tell, the wind is giving us problems in this clip. A focused spotter shooter team should be able to handle difficult wind conditions, but the low BC of the 55 grain bullet means that the wind affects it very significantly. Every shot must be carefully corrected to the current conditions or the gusts will push the bullet off target. How much better will the 77 grain OTM perform? Okay, this is a full mag of 77 grain OTM. I'm gonna hold 14 MOA, shooting again at 600 on the same plate. Okay, I'm just gonna start going. I'm gonna hold about 4 MOA off the left, compensate for the wind. Okay, here we go.
Impact. You're like kind of left side.
Copy.
Impact. 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 Little left.
I think that illustrates the point.
Yeah, those are just fucking damn right down the middle.
Yeah, well, there you have it. The 77 grain Sierra Match King bullet has a ballistic coefficient of 0.372. Corrected for the thin atmosphere where I live, it behaves closer to 0.440, which is extremely impressive. Despite how much slower the 77 grain bullet leaves the barrel, it's traveling 200 feet per second faster than the 55 grain bullet when it reaches the target. The M193 has lost over half of its muzzle velocity, while the 77 grain OTM still has over 60% of its initial speed at 600 yards. It hits the target with much more force at this distance as well. The higher velocity and greater mass of the bullet mean much more energy is transferred to the target. Not only does the high BC make the OTM bullet very accurate, but the retained energy and bullet design make it much more terminally effective at close and long range.
Got it. Hit. I was lower right.
The proliferation of short-barreled rifles and AR pistols complicates the terminal effectiveness of lightweight FMJ loads. M193 is highly velocity dependent because it relies upon bullet fragmentation inside the target to create a large permanent wound cavity. The slower the bullet, the less fragmentation is achieved. A shorter barrel means less velocity, significantly compromising the potential lethality of most 5.56 FMJ loads. The maximum fragmentation range for 55 grain FMJ out of a 10-inch barrel is less than 100 yards. The original M16 20-inch barrel configuration only loses its fragmentation lethality around 300 yards.
Oh, this bitch is hot.
While an open-tip match bullet is not an expanding hollow point in the traditional sense, the thin jacket enables very reliable fragmentation and core deformation.
433.
The effective range is extended as the bullet maintains more of its energy to leverage this enhanced lethality. Even from shorter barrels, a 77 grain OTM bullet will be more accurate and effective than a lighter FMJ at all ranges. Check out this video on TFB TV from Andrew B. Andrew is shooting my preferred ammo, the IMI 77 grain OTM Razor Core, into ballistics gel with a 10.5-inch AR. The 77 grain OTM creates an extremely impressive wound channel from a short barrel at close range. In Armed Forces nomenclature, Mark 262 is the designation given to the Black Hills Ammunition 77 grain OTM load. The Mark 262 program allowed the 77 grain open-tip match to be tested in combat with the Mark 12 Special Purpose Rifle, or SPR. This ammunition and rifle concept are literally designed for each other. While the Mark 262 and 77 grain OTM are ultimately designed for long-range precision, we've seen the open-tip match bullet fragment and deform quite impressively in ballistics gel. The deadliness of Mark 262 was indeed noted during the global war on terror. I don't have experience in this field, but I'm sure some of you do. We would love to hear from you in the comments.
Oh my god.
This ammunition can be used not only to create an effective long-range AR-15 platform like an SPR, but a short-barreled rifle or pistol can become much more effective through the use of heavy for caliber OTM ammunition. It will be terminally effective at close to mid-range and far more accurate at those distances because of the higher ballistic coefficient. A patrol or reconnaissance rifle can be made shorter to allocate more length to a suppressor without losing too much effectiveness at extended range. That's all from me today. Leave your questions or remarks in the comments below and I'll be back with a new video soon. Thanks for watching.